André Rieu, the man often called the King of the Waltz, has spent decades making people smile, laugh, and even cry through music. But behind every beautiful note from his 1667 Stradivarius violin lies a personal story that not many people know. While audiences around the world see a joyful, charming performer leading grand orchestras and filling concert halls with romance and emotion, the truth behind that magic is far more personal and surprisingly emotional. Rieu's music has always touched people's hearts, not just because of its beauty, but because it carries a powerful story. A story shaped by childhood silence, personal struggles, and a love that quietly held everything together. André grew up in a home full of music. His father was a strict and respected conductor. From the outside, it might seem like a dream childhood, surrounded by music, lessons, and discipline. But André remembers it very differently. He has shared that he can't recall ever being hugged by his father. No warm bedtime stories, no reassuring hands on his shoulder. Just rules, order, and cold professionalism. The house was filled with music, but it lacked affection. That kind of emotional distance can leave a lasting mark, especially on a child. For André, it left a strong longing, a silent hunger for warmth and emotional connection. And instead of shutting down or turning bitter, he found a way to express those feelings without words. He picked up the violin. It wasn't just an instrument for him. It became the one thing that allowed him to say what he couldn't say out loud. Every note was a feeling. Every melody was a memory, a wish, or a moment he never had. His violin became his voice. Through it, he was able to share the joy, sadness, affection, and even vulnerability that he had kept bottled up for so long. People who go to his concerts often say they feel something real, something emotional that goes beyond the music. That's because, for André, each concert is not just a performance. It's a moment of emotional honesty. A way of offering something to the audience that he never got to feel as a child. His success wasn't built only on talent or hard work. It was built on his need to connect. The warmth he missed growing up is exactly what he tries to give through every performance. It's why his concerts feel so full of love. His music doesn't just entertain. It heals. It speaks to people who are looking for joy, comfort, or just a few moments of beauty in their lives. And behind that emotional generosity, behind that effort to give people something beautiful, stands one very important person: his wife, Marjorie. Marjorie isn't just the woman André fell in love with. She's the reason he could become the artist he is today. Their relationship started when they were young and grew into a deep partnership that has lasted a lifetime. While many people are drawn to the spotlight, Marjorie chose to stay away from it. She never wanted to be in the center of attention, but her influence runs quietly through everything André does. He has often said that Marjorie gave him the emotional support and strength he needed. She helped him understand himself better. Her love helped him open up emotionally and made it easier for him to show his feelings through music. Unlike many classical performers who keep things formal and distant, André's concerts are full of warmth. He laughs, he smiles, he looks at his audience like they're old friends. That emotional openness isn't just a stage act. It's who he became through love. Real love. The kind that's patient, kind, and steady. Marjorie gave him the space to be himself, without judgment. And that changed how he played music. The affection and trust they share can be felt in every note, every waltz, every lingering pause. And that's exactly why his performances feel so personal. It's like his music carries their relationship in it. While André travels the world and plays to packed arenas, Marjorie stays out of the spotlight by choice. Her world is quieter, but just as important. She has been the calm in the middle of the storm, the grounding force that holds everything together. Early in their marriage, when André was still building his career, Marjorie took on the financial responsibilities. She gave him the space to grow without the stress of money, something that can destroy many artistic dreams. Her sacrifices weren't loud or dramatic. They were quiet, constant, and powerful. As André's career began to grow, so did the demands of touring, managing teams, and handling logistics. And once again, Marjorie stepped in. She took on a leadership role behind the scenes. She managed their travel, handled the budgets, and made sure everything worked smoothly. While André played on stage, Marjorie was the one making sure the lights turned on, the buses showed up on time, and the bills were paid. She never asked for attention. She just did what needed to be done. And to this day, André credits much of his success to the structure Marjorie built around him. Without her steady hand, none of it would have lasted. Her work allowed him to focus entirely on music, not just the notes, but the feeling behind the notes. And that emotional freedom changed everything. When an artist doesn't have to worry about the chaos of everyday operations, they can go deeper into their art. For André, that meant creating concerts that truly connected with people. It meant focusing on how the audience felt, not just on technical performance. That connection is the heart of his music, and Marjorie made it possible. One of the most touching parts of their story comes from a moment that changed André's musical style forever. Marjorie once shared with him her father's old record collection. Her father, Edgar Kochman, had fled Berlin in 1933 as a Jewish refugee. The records he saved were filled with old romantic melodies, gentle waltzes, and pieces that were rich in emotion and elegance. Among them was the Sportpalast Walzer, a nostalgic tune that captured a time of joy and simplicity. These weren't the kind of classical pieces André had been trained to play. They weren't rigid or overly academic. They were emotional and beautiful. They told stories, not with complexity, but with feeling. Listening to those records changed André. They reminded him that music wasn't just about skill or tradition. It was about connection. He began to rethink everything he had learned. Instead of focusing on technical perfection, he wanted his music to feel alive. He wanted people to smile, to cry, to remember something beautiful. And that's how his unique style was born. A mix of classical quality and emotional openness. The old melodies Marjorie introduced him to gave him permission to feel, to be more than a performer, to be a storyteller through sound. Today, that emotional storytelling is what sets André apart. His concerts aren't cold, formal affairs. They're full of life. People dance in the aisles, laugh with strangers, and walk away feeling better than when they came in. And that's the legacy Marjorie helped shape, not through fame, but through quiet strength. Her calm presence, her smart decision-making, and her constant support gave André the freedom to turn his childhood pain into something beautiful. It's a reminder that behind every successful person, there's often someone steady and strong, working quietly in the background. André Rieu's life is not just a story of fame and talent. It's a story of transformation, of a little boy who grew up without hugs and turned that emptiness into music that hugs the world, of a man who found not just love, but a partner who helped him feel safe enough to show the world who he truly is. Every note he plays carries a bit of that journey, from loneliness to connection, from silence to sound. His music isn't just for the ears, it's for the heart. So next time you hear one of his waltzes or see clips of his concerts online, remember that what you're hearing isn't just music. It's emotion, carefully shaped over years of silence, heartbreak, and healing. It's a message from someone who once felt unseen, now reaching out to make sure no one else feels that way. If you've ever been touched by music, really touched, to the point where you feel like someone understands you, that's what André Rieu offers every time he picks up his violin. Not just entertainment, but a gift. A moment of real connection in a world that can often feel too rushed, too cold, or too loud. His legacy won't just be in sold-out concerts or awards. It will live in every heart that felt a little lighter because of his music. If you've enjoyed hearing this story, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Has André's music ever meant something special to you? Let us know. And if you want more heartfelt stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. There's always more behind the music than meets the ear.